It is 11:55 p.m. on November 29th, 2021, and a miracle happened today for me, for the world, actually. I still can't get over it. So I wanted to share it because I hope it comes to be known soon. So my Egyptian family, my business partner, Ahmed Al-Saidi, was watering Sophia's garden, some land that he owns in Luxor, Egypt, in the mountains. He had purchased this land about 7 years ago and just didn't do anything with it until this year. In January, we started to put some greenery in it, whatever we could afford. There's these little trees that they build like fences or boundaries with, that they call plastic trees, that you can buy for 3 cents. So it was things like this initially. And then Ahmed started to grow, from our food, like seeds from oranges, lemons, whatever we had, figs. And he bought a big aloe plant, and he planted all of these plants that he made or bought in the garden. And he had it watered every other day pretty much since the beginning of 2021. I have a lot of photos of the garden and of videos of it, and there's nothing in this area. However, obviously, unbeknownst to Ahmed when he bought it, a major road is going right next to it in the near future. And so when they came upon Ahmed watering the garden one day, they caught him and brought him to jail. Now, this was very concerning to me, obviously, because I lived in Egypt for a couple of years, and I heard about the jails there, and they also call it the circus, so you can imagine. So, on top of this, Ahmed had a very bad toothache. His brother and his friends, I believe, got him out of the initial jail, but he had a ticket to go to court pretty much immediately and pay over $2,000 fine. Now, if you know anything about Egypt, modern day Egypt, you know the prices are like the 1950s in that country. So imagine it if you're in America in the 1950s $2,000 is a lot of money. In Egyptian pounds, it's 33,000 Egyptian pounds. So it basically feels like $33,000, you know? Like, where would you get $33,000 all of a sudden? Now, if I could help him, I would. However, the only access I have to give him money is, there's two options, PayPal and Western Union. And I can only get him like $100 or maybe $200 via PayPal. Otherwise, PayPal holds it like it held $500 for 21 days. Why? So I couldn't get him the money that way. And then if I went the way of Western Union, it would have this ginormous fee that just feels like rape. I'm going to just say it. Financial rape. Western Union. So, besides, I didn't have 2,000 US dollars. I don't even have 10 US dollars. So, it's like this with me. However, I pled with him to ask his family, but nobody has 2,000 extra US dollars. Well, maybe some do, but, you know, apparently he didn't ask anyone, even though he comes from the biggest family I ever heard of. 35,000 members in this family. Al-Saidi means Upper Egypt, like the mountains of Egypt. So they have very strong blood there. Anywho, he didn't ask. And when yesterday came at 2 p.m., he went with his lawyer to the circus, the court. Not the circus, he went to the court. Well, he went to the building where they said, are you going to pay or are you going to go to jail? And he said he's going to pay. So then they sent him to another building. And when it came to his time, it was like at the end of the day, I think. They're like, you didn't pay. And he's like, yeah, I know. So it became very confusing for people. And then they sent him to the jail, I believe, a holding place. And the and he was happy. He was happy because where he landed, in the cell that he landed, it was like 1 meter by 2 meters. And he thought this was very large. He's a short man, but I mean, a cage is a cage, right? Anyway, while he was there, his tooth started acting up really bad. And so he called for the captain and he said, either can you, like, something needs to happen. Can I go to the doctor? My tooth is killing me. And so I guess he got to call his uncle. And his uncle was going to come down and help him, bring him tablets or something. But then his uncle went over to his rich uncle and said, your nephew is in jail and has a really bad toothache. Can you get him out? And so apparently this uncle went down to the jail and said, why are you holding my nephew? And talked to someone higher up, and they agreed to lower the fine. And his uncle asked Ahmed how much he had, and he said 6,000 Egyptian, which is like $400 US. And I think the fine was 26,000 Egyptian. So the uncle paid the other 20,000. Which is like 1,200 approximately US dollars. And then demanded that his nephew be released because they paid the fine, the ticket. And so Ahmed got home last night at 2:40 a.m. And now we legitimately own the land. Because when you pay, here's how it works in Egypt. It's such a strange system. But when you pay the ticket on the land, then the land is in your name. Now what he has to do, what we have to do, is I think we have to pay the Egyptian government 13,000 US dollars, a little bit more than that. Oh, I know, it's 333,000 Egyptian pounds, which is about that amount of money, somewhere around 14,000. And then it's ours. First you get a ticket, and then that ticket has means it's yours. And that's how you register land in Egypt. Now, I'm just going to tell you my feelings about this whole process. Because also what happened yesterday was my Kuzli shop came home. Everything I worked for 4 years ago is now back with me. These last 4 years have been a crazy, painful, magic ride like Ahmed just experienced. And it's like 5 days from this day, from yesterday, when everything came back home. In 5 days, 4 years ago, I will start this journey. And I am so tired. I didn't even know that there was this level of exhaustion. My heart is just like, oh. And so I was moving all these crazy amounts of boxes all into Snoopy yesterday. And the van got stuck in the mud, and oh my God, it was just a thing in the dark. Oh man. Anyway, and all the other boxes are in my bedroom, and I had nowhere to sleep, and I finally did, and it's just been a thing. And I just laid here all day. Oh, it's probably now the 30th. Let's see. Yep. Almost 11 minutes. Right now it's 10. I'm going to catch the 11. I love catching time. I've been alone a lot, most of the 99% of the these past 4 years. And so one of the things I did was I just made a game out of catching time on my phone. And I love 11s. Numbers and I have this weird love relationship. And yeah, I used to be great at numbers when I was a kid. And then, like in 5th grade, I was a math rock star. And then in 6th grade, I got put in the regular kids class. So curious what I would have done if I had been mathematically supported, shall we say. Anyway, it's now 16:00, and I think this is long enough. I'll end it at the 17:00. I just want to thank God and Jesus and Mary and my mom and dad and my grandma and grandpa and Tashi and Archangel Michael and all the archangels and all the angels and Mother Nature and Father Sky, and wow, thank you for loving us so well. Thank you for keeping Ahmed safe and strong. Thank you for keeping me here on this planet so we can love it and change it and keep it nice and beautiful for the children, the future. I love you all. Mwah.